Hey guys, check this out. It's 5:45 a.m. and I'm out here working on what my wife and I call our man-made forest. We call it that because we planted it. We didn't make the trees, of course, but folks, I want to talk to you for a minute about planting a forest. If you want a forest and you don't have one, we bought our property, 6 acres, mostly field. We've got a little bit of forest way back there in the back, a lot of tree lines, but the road's down here and we wanted a privacy barrier. So we decided we would go along the wood lines on our side of the property and take saplings and young trees and transfer them down here. We started with the cedar, eastern red cedar trees to put in the front row because they're evergreens. They'd be thick and bushy eventually, and they'd give us some privacy. But we kind of got a little bit carried away. We said, what if we had an entire forest? So we just kept going. We've planted nearly 200 trees down here. We have 8 rows, and well, some of them are bushes. But guys, I don't know, I got this big idea in my head. It's like, what if I could walk out across this big field? We could play in this field. We put a weeping willow up in the top. And then what if I had this nice majestic forest here that I, plant the trees in such a way that, see, they're not in straight rows. They're alternating all the way through all the rows so that once they're mature, you won't be able to see through them even when the leaves are off. And in this 8th row up here, the top row, we actually planted Virginia burning bushes. A beautiful bush that gets thick and bushy, and the leaves later in the year will turn red. That's why they're called burning bushes. Now I'm out here, I've been out here for almost half an hour already. Day breaks at about 5:20 this time of year. And I'm coming out and I'm just clipping the weeds underneath the trees. It's a lot of work, but it looks absolutely beautiful once it's completed. As you can see, this is the first time I've done it this year. Some things to point out. We put a lot of time and effort into making these tree guards out of 2x4 inch wire because we found out quickly that the deer will eat anything we plant down to the ground. So we had to cage a lot of them in to protect the buds in the spring, and then protect them from the rut in the fall. This red bud we didn't think was going to make it, but we saw some new growth down on the bottom about 2 years ago, so we clipped it off here, and now the energy's been going into making it thicker and bushier. And then this mulberry tree has been growing like crazy, and we actually already have a couple of mulberries on there. As you can see, we're going to get some fruit. But cedars in the front, and then we did plant this past winter a row of Leland cypresses here in row 2, alternated between the cedars for more privacy. And we get these on special from Walmart.com in December and January for like $11 each. But these are the only trees we bought, and some hollies back there along that fence line because we want some hollies. But all the rest we dug up from the fence line. Locusts grow really fast. The foliage gets thick and bushy quick. And the thing about these, if they do die off, you cut it down, 3 will take its place. We only put 1 oak tree because these grow very slowly. But check out this maple tree. Same thing, we thought it was going to die, so we clipped it off back here. And now it's just growing up thick and bushy. Got the guard around it to protect it from the deer. You know, it's interesting. When we started this almost 3 years ago, here's a mulberry that the top part wasn't making it, so we clipped it off, and now all the energy is bringing the bottom part back. It's going to be thick and bushy. But when we started this 3 years ago, I mean, this looked like sticks. So we put them out here, most of them when they were dormant, because that's the best time to transfer trees. And when I'd run into somebody that maybe lived out this way, they'd laugh and they say, "Dude, what are you doing with all those sticks in your yard?" And here's a red bud, eastern red bud. Over here's another beautiful eastern red bud. And I'd say, oh, I'd laugh along with them. I'm like, we're trying to get some trees. It's another locust. And interesting story. The first row down there that's red cedars, the first row of red cedars, we have 17 trees in that row. They all died because we planted them, we transferred them in the late spring, early summer when there were drought type conditions, and even though we watered them, they all died. So the entire first row was brown. Almost the entire first year we lived here. People would say, "Oh, dude, what's up with all those dead trees in your front yard?" And I was, "Oh, yeah, haha." Well, that fall, once the temperatures cooled and the rain started coming back, we replaced every single one of them. So that's actually the second row of cedars we planted there. And they lived. Last summer, when we had droughtish conditions, we went to Walmart and bought 4. Well, we had one, I think it was a 100-foot long water hose. We bought 3 more, so we get 200 feet of hose, or no, 400 feet of hose to come from our pump all the way down here, and we would come out here every 3 days and take 2 hours to water this. There's a guy I know out this way. He'd see me later and he'd laugh. He'd say, "Oh, I saw you out there watering your sticks and your dead trees." All right, so here we are, 3 years later, almost. Another beautiful eastern redbud. Here's a beautiful maple that we planted. Wasn't even half this size. It's doing really well. Now here we are 3 years later. Down here's a poplar. The 5 rows in the middle are all mixed hardwoods. Poplar, locust, maple, eastern redbud. But now when I see this guy and I see other people, they're like, "Wow, your trees actually lived. It looks beautiful. I can't imagine how beautiful it's going to be in another 5 years." Here's a poplar. It's doing really, really well. And I say, "Yeah, laugh along with them." But folks, if you want a forest, go out and plant your own. I mean, this is how you make it happen. You don't sit around and wait. You know, the Chinese have a proverb that to live a full life, you must plant a tree, raise a child, and write a book. I mean, make these things happen. Don't sit around and wish you had a forest. Go out and plant your own forest. And as time goes on, we'll make more videos. It's a pretty little maple tree in there. We'll give you updates on our forest, how it's doing. But I just wanted to share a bit of the morning serenity with you out here in our man-made forest. And you know, sometimes you'll transfer a tree and the leaves will die off. Looks like it's not going to do anything. Just give it time. Here's an eastern redbud that's coming back strong that we thought might be dead, but it's not. One of the best lessons in patience has been dealing with trees and planting a forest. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, Homesteading Off the Grid. I'm going to get back to weeding my forest, and we'll see you next time.